I don't know what the big deal is about the fact that Caitlyn is getting a lot of love. She deserves that, and she's helped change this game just as a lot of other players have. But it is what it is. And I think that we are all benefiting from the effects that she's had on the game. And I just appreciate the way she shows up.
You know, it's a big day in women's basketball when a Hall of Famer steps into a podcast and speaks more truth than a championship press conference. Lisa Leslie didn't just stand up for Caitlyn Clark, she gave a masterclass in grace, perspective, and reality checks. And the best part? Angel Reese got a front row seat to the lesson, right on her own show. With thousands listening, Leslie delivered what might be the smoothest and most respectful clapback in podcast history.
Going into my season 2, what's some advice that you would give for me?
Season 2, I can't wait to work with you some more. The biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups, period.
While the internet has been in a frenzy over the Clark versus Reese saga, turning it into a full-blown sports rivalry, Lisa Leslie stepped in with a whole different approach. She didn't take sides, she raised the conversation. One day, she's highlighting Clark's impact on the league. The next, she's giving Reese the kind of wisdom you can't get in practice. This wasn't about drama, it was about growth. And let's be real, someone needed to say it.
But she literally got called out for missing layups. I mean, on her own damn show.
Let's take a step back. For months, it's felt like Caitlyn Clark couldn't make a move without a WNBA vet throwing shade, whether it was side-eye, passive-aggressive comments, or even physical plays on the court. From salty tweets to tough fouls, it was clear not everyone was ready to roll out the welcome mat. But then Lisa Leslie, one of the WNBA's founding legends, stepped up and said, actually, Caitlyn's doing everything right. And just like that, it hit like a game-winning shot at the buzzer.
You want to see more WNBA people saying this, and it's just so obvious.
This wasn't just another hot take from the sidelines, this was Lisa Leslie. A woman who helped build the WNBA from the ground up, threw down dunks before they were mainstream, and knows exactly what it takes to carry a league. So when she says Caitlyn Clark is the real deal, people pay attention.
We have to understand that when one player eats, we all eat. And as we all get more opportunities, it just opens it up for everyone else. And I think Caitlyn has said that even herself in certain interviews. And I love that. I love that she's not the player who's like, it's all about her. It's not. She's giving love and homage to those of us that have come before her. She shares the wealth with her teammates, and she doesn't have to do that. So I just don't, again, I don't know what the big deal is about the fact that Caitlyn is getting a lot of love. She deserves that, and she's helped change this game.
And Lisa didn't just say Clark is talented, she praised how she carries herself. It wasn't just about stats, it was about humility. In a league where some players act like they invented the crossover, Clark stands out for showing love to the legends who paved the way. Lisa made sure everyone heard that loud and clear. Her message? Are you even paying attention? Because while some are busy complaining about screen time, Caitlyn is out here giving credit to the pioneers.
Listen, she's a competitor. She's a trash talker. She makes players around her better. She's exciting to watch. And quite frankly, I've missed seeing her. Being at Unrivaled, I wish she was there. I've missed seeing her play. So I really look forward to seeing her back out there. But as I do all of the WNBA players, we are really watching a very exciting level of basketball.
But let's talk about the moment, the pivot that left Jaws on the floor. Lisa Leslie didn't just defend Clark from a distance, she took it straight to Angel Reese on her own podcast. In a setting where Reese had full control of the MIC and the final edit, Lisa went into full truth-teller mode. And what did she do? She looked Reese dead in the eye and called out her biggest weakness, those missed layups.
The biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups, period. We're going to fix that. Yeah. That's fixable for you. And I think that's probably the biggest. I think your shot from the outside is improving. I love that your ball handling is good. Your defense is improved.
Let's take a moment to appreciate this situation. You invite a legend onto your show, expecting some legacy talk, a few laughs, maybe a feel-good girl power vibe. Instead, your finishing struggles get aired out like laundry in front of thousands of listeners. But here's the thing, it wasn't shady, it wasn't petty, it was real. And honestly, it might have been the kind of coaching moment Reese wouldn't get anywhere else.
Hoops game where she literally needs to put up 300 shots a day. And I'm not kidding. 200 or 300 shots a day. And that's missed layups. She's 6'3" or 6'4", can't hit a layup to save her life. And literal videos have went mega viral of just her missing layups in game.
Lisa didn't drag Reese, she taught her. And that's exactly what makes her such a force. She didn't embarrass Angel, she elevated her by speaking the truth, just like a Hall of Famer pulling a struggling rookie aside and saying, "You've got the talent, but your fundamentals need work." If Angel's smart, she'll take it as the gift that it is.
You got to go out there and prove yourselves. And listen, are we going to get upset about 5, 6, 10 games less on television or not? I don't think we should. We have access to find these games now in a way that we never had before. And we have to appreciate that, and all these platforms that support the W.
Lisa Leslie understands something that a lot of people in the league seem to miss. When the stars rise, everyone wins. And Caitlyn Clark? She's not just rising, she's skyrocketing. Leslie made it clear that Clark's visibility isn't a threat to veterans, it's a rising tide. More eyes on the league mean bigger paychecks, better coverage, and packed arenas. Most importantly, it pushes the WNBA toward a future where both rookies and veterans get paid what they deserve. And Lisa didn't shy away from the hottest topic, Clark's TV time. She tackled it head-on.
Stephen A. Smith had a very interesting discourse with Fee recently over the number of games the Fever broadcasted this season compared to other teams who have also got stars on them. So I'm curious what you make of W's decision to lean into highlighting its stars.
While players like Reese and others gripe about how many national games Clark's team gets, Lisa broke it down like a professor. "When one of us eats, we all eat," she said. In other words, if you're upset about the TV slots, you should be thanking Caitlyn for bringing in the audience and boosting everyone's spotlight.
I think it's all about money, marketing, and we cannot deny what Caitlyn Clark has done for the women's game. I'm not going to act like it's something that we don't see. She's had a huge effect called the Caitlyn Clark effect. Yes, have we ever had teams have to get into larger arenas to play against a team? No, we have not. So if we have more eyeballs on the game and Caitlyn Clark brings that, why would we feel some kind of way because she has more television games?
Remember when some players, and even ESPN, tried to discredit Caitlyn Clark's college success at Iowa just because she didn't win a national championship?
I'm curious, where would you rank her amongst all-time college players, in your opinion?
Ooh, that's tough because you got to win one. I feel like that college is one of those spaces where you got to win one for them to even have your name in the conversation. And it took me 3 years to win mine, so it's hard.
Well, guess what? Lisa Leslie clapped back on that too.
Curious if you think winning an NCAA championship is needed for that eventual GOAT conversation, greatest of all time status.
Absolutely not. I didn't win an NCAA championship. I was National Player of the Year. I won all of the individual awards, but sometimes, it's very hard to win a national championship. Regardless of how much people talk about it, like, oh, you have to have it. It is one of the hardest things to do in a tournament where you have so many games and you're trying to get there. So, yes, shout out to all of the players who were able to win national championships, but it doesn't make a player who didn't win a national championship any less of an amazing individual player and the possibility of being the talks of being a GOAT, for sure.
Then came the line that sealed it all. Lisa Leslie said Caitlyn Clark deserves all of it, the attention, the endorsements, the hype, because she's changing the game. And coming from someone who literally changed the game herself, that's not hype. It's a coronation.
Hey, listen, Caitlyn, I am so thankful for her. I'm thankful for all of these women and where this game is, and we have to step back and see the big picture and how it's impacting all of us.
So what did we witness? It wasn't just a defense of Caitlyn Clark or a critique of Angel Reese, it was a moment where one of the game's all-time greats reminded everyone how true leadership works. You lift, you correct, and most importantly, you tell the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, even if it's on someone else's mic. At the end of the day, Lisa Leslie isn't here to play favorites, she's here to make the game better. And Caitlyn Clark? She's proving every day that she's more than just a media sensation. She's the future Lisa Leslie has been waiting for.
And Lisa Leslie is completely on the money here. And that's just a problem when it comes to a lot of the old WNBA, is that they just can't. They just can't not even wrap their head around. They can't just accept, okay, this person is more popular than me.
You'd think a player would dream of nothing but praise from a Hall of Famer, but instead of a standing ovation, Angel Reese got something far more valuable, a reality check from Lisa Leslie. And not just any critique, a full-on masterclass on layups. Yes, layups. It's one of the first skills you learn in youth basketball, but for someone who brands herself as the Bayou Barbie, Reese might need to add Layup Lab Rat to her Instagram bio.
It's just a fact. She is, it's more than a fact. She is not good at layups. But I was looking at her stats. I jotted some down right here, and she shoots an abysmal 39% from the field. She shot below 50% on shots less than 5 feet away, which is bad. And even worse than that is that shots from 5 to 9 feet, 13%.
Lisa didn't hold back, on Angel's podcast, no less. She went straight for it, but in the nicest, most big sisterly way possible, highlighting the elephant in the paint, Angel Reese's finishing struggles at the rim. And this wasn't some deep dive into advanced analytics. It was a WNBA legend gently pointing out that if you're going to be the face of a franchise, you probably shouldn't be missing easy shots under the basket.
This is like WNBA leveling up and all eyes on her now. I think that she knows that she has to completely restructure her form, because that is not the way to be efficient in the post position that she is in. At the post position that she's in, a layup is supposed to be a given. She needs to improve her touch around the rim, like all over the place, but she seems to take these desperation shots.
Now here's where it gets interesting. Angel had full control of that podcast. She could have edited out the awkward parts, tossed the critique aside, and given her fans the classic all-love, queen version. But she didn't. She let it ride. That in itself was a plot twist. Maybe Angel knew this wasn't shade, it was sunlight. Lisa Leslie wasn't trying to embarrass her, she was trying to help her evolve.
Look, let's give her credit for trying to evolve her game. We have to give her a little credit. I think she realizes my game is incomplete.
The moment wasn't one-sided either. Leslie didn't come to roast Reese, she came to guide her. She praised Angel's improvement in ball handling and gave props to her growing defensive game. It wasn't a takedown, it was a balanced performance review from the GOAT of constructive criticism. Only someone who genuinely cares would risk a little discomfort in the name of growth.
That actually happened on Angel's own podcast? Wow. That is pretty embarrassing to have someone come on your podcast and as a professional basketball player, hey, what do you think I need to work on? Layups. Okay, good luck with that, girls.
But then came the deeper layer. Leslie suggested that Reese's layup struggles might not just be a mechanical issue, but something psychological, the dreaded athlete's curse, the yips. For those unfamiliar, the yips are when muscle memory suddenly hits a brick wall. One day, you're automatic, the next, you're missing open layups like you've never touched a basketball. Lisa raised the question gently but seriously, and it opened up a bigger conversation about the mental side of the game, something no one, especially newcomers, wants to admit they're struggling with. That's what sets Leslie apart from the average analyst. She doesn't just break down tape, she breaks down barriers. She understands that mentorship isn't about pumping someone up or going easy on them, it's about telling the truth, even when it stings. That kind of honesty? It's rare. And it's exactly what legends do.
I'm going to authentically and seriously give Angel Reese credit. Because it's a podcast, and it's her podcast. And if she wanted to edit that out, she could have.
But here's the twist no one saw coming. Angel Reese didn't flinch. She didn't rage quit the interview or clap back with a tick talk. Instead, she let the critique breathe. She kept it in the episode, let it go public, and in doing so, showed a side of herself we haven't seen often. In a league where image is everything, Reese showed vulnerability. And fans? They noticed.
I think there's some self-awareness here that she's heard the loud roar and the pushback. She's understands like, hey, things I got away with in college, I'm not going to get away with in the WNBA.
Still, there's something bigger at play here. Lisa Leslie isn't just handing out tough love randomly, she's laying out a blueprint. A blueprint for what leadership in the WNBA should look like. She's showing us how to elevate the league, not by fueling petty rivalries, but by creating accountability. She supports Clark because she recognizes generational greatness. She critiques Reese because she sees untapped potential. This isn't favoritism, it's a framework.
I'm not bigger and stronger than everybody else. And so the things that were hidden in college, and particularly in high school, that I can't do it anymore. And so I might as well be honest about it and authentic. I'm working on it, guys.
And yet, social media still can't figure out whose side Lisa is on. That's the thing, Leslie isn't playing favorites. She's playing the long game. She's not focused on viral moments or petty feuds. She's working to build something bigger, a league where young players grow, stars shine, and everyone levels up. Because at the end of the day, Lisa Leslie doesn't need to pick a side, she already picked the sport.
Like, just thank you, Lisa Leslie. Thank you, Lisa Leslie. I cannot stress this enough. Thank you. There is somebody with sense. There is actually somebody with some sense.
What we're witnessing with Lisa Leslie right now isn't just a masterclass in leadership, it's a blueprint for the future of women's basketball. While the rest of the league debates airtime and endorsement money, Leslie is busy crafting a long-term strategy for the WNBA's success. Her approach celebrates the stars who bring in fans, while demanding accountability from everyone who wants to rise with them. It's not favoritism, it's functional leadership.
It's all about money, marketing. We cannot deny what Caitlyn has done for women's game. Said Leslie, 2-time champion, 3-time MVP. Why would we feel some type of way that she has more television games? I don't know what the big deal is of the fact Caitlyn is getting a lot of love. She deserves this and she's helped change the game.
Let's unpack this. When Lisa Leslie publicly backs Caitlyn Clark, she's not just complimenting the star, she's acknowledging a fundamental business truth. You can't grow a league without growing the audience. And Clark is doing exactly that. Viewership numbers don't lie. States like Iowa, which never ranked high on WNBA metrics, are suddenly top-tier markets, even when Clark isn't playing. Her fan base isn't just tuning in for her, they're getting invested in the entire league. But Leslie's vision isn't just about metrics and market share. It goes deeper. When she turns around and gives Angel Reese a tough love tutorial on layups, she's doing the work others won't. That moment wasn't an attack, it was an invitation. An invitation to level up, to fine-tune, to build a legacy not on hype, but on skill and impact. Leslie didn't just tell Reese what she's lacking, she outlined a path for her to become great.
I just don't know if it's fixable. This isn't Steve Sachs with problems with the yips. This is, this isn't a golfer with the yips on a golf course. This is, if you make it to age 22, 23, and you can't shoot a layup.
And that path? It might not look like Caitlyn Clark's, and that's the genius of Leslie's mentorship. She suggested Reese lean into what makes her unique: rebounding, defense, and energy. She pointed to players like Dennis Rodman and Joakim Noah, NBA legends who didn't fill up the scoring sheets, but built championship legacies by dominating their roles. Leslie's message was clear: you don't have to be the leading scorer to be a star. You just have to be a force. Some players crash in the transition from college to the pros because they try to copy someone else's blueprint. But Leslie is urging Reese and the rest of the league to find their own. The players who survive and thrive in this league are the ones who adapt, lean into their strengths, and elevate their teammates along the way.
Like, this is straightforward. And let's be real. Every single person knows this. They know this. It's not like they are, like, these people that are complaining about this don't know exactly what Lisa Leslie said. They're just scared to say it.
But perhaps the most revolutionary part of Leslie's approach is how she blends business and basketball without compromising either. She's not choosing between selling jerseys and improving fundamentals, she's doing both. And she's proving that the WNBA needs both. Want fans in the seats? Build stars. Want championships? Build better players. Do both, and you build a league that lasts. Right now, the WNBA is at a crossroads. The temptation is to either glamorize the stars or protect the vets. But Lisa Leslie is doing neither. She's showing that real growth happens when the league embraces tough conversations and celebrates the ones who move the needle, raise the bar, and widen the spotlight.
Anyone talking rationally knows, like, what has happened to the WNBA right now is going to be the best thing for them, and it's going to be the best thing in the future. But it's like, and you're going to see it. You see it in every walk of life where it's like, if you had it hard and somebody down the line has it easy, a lot of the time you're going to be complaining about the people that have it easy.